Welcome back to another episode of Riding with Robin. This week we talk about school bus safety, and we have some very special guests to help us along the way.
Hi, we're here today to answer some questions about school bus safety. How do you approach a school bus? What do you do when that arm is out, when the lights are flashing? How should your kids sit on a school bus? So today I have with us for this next episode is Trooper Bondarenko with the Pennsylvania State Police and Kel, who is with Ronig School Bus Company. So I guess we'll get started. So Trooper Bondarenko, thank you for being here. First question I have on my phone here is, what should a motorist do if they encounter a school bus if the school bus is stopped picking up or dropping off students? What should we do as a motorist?
Well, as a motorist, whenever you're approaching a school bus that's stopped, it should have its red lights activated, its stop arm out, and you want to stop within 10 feet of that school bus, and you want to remain stopped until you see those red flashing lights turn off, that stop arm withdraw, and all the kids have reached a safe location.
Okay, well, thank you. So, question number 2. What happens if you pass a school bus that is stopped?
Ooh, that's not good if you pass a school bus that is stopped. So obviously you're going to get pulled over by the police if there's an officer near, and you're going to have a fine if you're found guilty of $250. You're going to get 5 points on your PA driver's license, and it's an automatic 60-day suspension of your PA driver's license.
Ooh, so we probably shouldn't pass a school bus that's stopped, right?
No, you shouldn't. And I just want to add to that, sometimes people get confused on when they should stop. You should stop even if you're coming in the opposite direction of that school bus if there's no physical barrier. So if you've got 12 lanes of traffic and there's no physical barrier, meaning grass, a grassy area, a concrete median, any type of physical barrier, you need to stop. And just like the vehicles that are on the same side of the school bus.
Oh, okay, that's good information to know. Thank you very much. So I have another question for you. What about school zones? Do we have to slow down if there are no flashing lights? How about when school is closed? What happens if you're caught speeding in the school?
Sure. So when you're approaching a school zone that has flashing lights, you need to abide by that speed limit. In Pennsylvania, that school zone limit is 15 miles per hour. And if you exceed even 16 miles per hour or more, you're facing fines and 3 points on your driver's license if you're found guilty. So if you're approaching that school zone and the flashing lights are not on and you're unsure, it's not against the law, but you should proceed with caution whenever you're coming through that school zone because it's a school area and sometimes they have a lot of pedestrians. And even after school hours, there might be a school event going on where the school's not open, but there's still people there and pedestrians walking.
Okay, well, once again, some great information. So it's just a reminder that you need to always be paying attention to the rules of the road and always making sure you're aware of your surroundings and knowing where your pedestrians are, where other motorists are, what's going on around you is very, very important. So Kel, I have a couple of questions for you. What do you do as a driver when a motorist passes the bus while they're picking up or dropping off students?
First thing you would do is lay on your horn, keep your eyes on the child, try to get a description of the vehicle or the license plate number to turn into the police and turn in a police report to the state police.
It could be
Or
the state
local
police,
police.
whatever jurisdiction that is.
But always keep your eye on the children.
Now, do you guys have communication with either your, I'm assuming with the bus company, with dispatch, or do you have communication with the school?
We have two-way radios in all vehicles, so we have
Okay.
communication with the office dispatch
Okay.
at all times.
So that way you're connected. If there's an emergency, they're able to contact you
Yes.
and reroute you if need be in other situations.
Yes.
Okay, it's good to know. Very good to know. So my next question for you is, are parents allowed to enter the bus? I remember when I was a trooper, there was an incident where a parent wanted to get on the bus, tried to get on the bus to deal with a situation where kids were fighting and their child was involved with the fighting. Are parents allowed to get on the bus?
No, parents are not allowed to be on the bus. It's actually a misdemeanor warrant in the state of Pennsylvania, just for the safety of the students and the drivers. Parents need to stay off the bus.
Okay, so it's against the law for parents to jump on a school bus.
Definitely.
Okay. Another question that I don't have on my phone, but are there cameras on school buses?
There's cameras front facing, rear facing, and there's audio as well
Okay.
on 90% of the vehicles.
Okay, so it could be possible that a school bus could capture someone's, at least a description of that vehicle that's passing that bus while they're picking up students or discharging students.
Correct. Yes. Some vehicles are equipped with side cameras on the outside of the vehicles, but they're not mandated yet.
Okay. Awesome, awesome. Well, I see you have Craig here, and you told us that Craig is the guru of the school buses. So, a couple of questions, if you don't mind answering them for us. How should a child be seated on a bus? I remember when I was a kid, and you would be on your knees talking to the kids behind you, maybe standing on the bus. What's the proper way for a child to be seated on a bus?
So it's important, when they first get on, that they get on single file line. That allows the driver to recognize faces. It allows the driver to notice, what's going on and interact with the students as they board. Once they're in a seat, it's important that they sit facing forward with their back against the seat and their feet on the ground in front of them. When school buses are built, they're built with what's called compartmentalization. So in the event of an accident or anything, if anything were to happen, it would protect that child because the seat in front and behind them is padded. So if they're sitting properly, the school buses are designed to protect them.
Okay. And they're way higher than when I was a kid. It wasn't that long ago, but the seats are a lot higher now because of that, correct? With the extra padding.
Correct. Back in 2014, they passed that new law that, promoted the higher backings for safer protection and padding.
So does that eliminate seatbelts for our students, our passengers on school buses, or are there some school buses that have seatbelts?
The smaller buses, the mini buses and things like that, they are still equipped with seatbelts. But when it comes to the full-size buses, like I said, that compartmentalization factor, it plays a big role in the design of the bus and allows the kids to be able to move freely in the event that something would happen, without having to worry about every single child, but still, with the safety aspect in mind, it still protects them.
Okay. And is there any kind of tidbit of information you can give us about the school bus? I know I've heard things about the black lines on the school bus and what they indicate. Could you tell us about that?
So most of the buses are equipped with, the basic safety features. The black lines on the sides, they represent, for emergency personnel, different factors and, different levels of the bus, the floorboard, the seating, different things like that. It allows, emergency responders and, people who are on the road and around the vehicle to realize, the height differential when they're on the ground versus when they're sitting in a seat.
All right, good information. Maybe you can actually let us get on the bus and see the inside of it. Is that okay?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. So now that we're on the bus, Craig, can you tell us about some safety features? I know many years ago, not too many years ago, that kids would be left on the bus. How do you guys prevent that from happening now?
Absolutely. So with most of the newer vehicles, and even older vehicles that can have third-party or company installed equipment, when the driver shut off the bus after the bus is empty, the equipment prompts the driver to go back to the back of the bus and hit an alarm and check every seat in order to verify that there's no students left on the bus. So that would look something like the driver leaving the driver's seat, walking to the back of the bus, checking the seats as they come back, and then deactivating the alarm. That would allow the driver to leave the vehicle knowing that there's no child left behind.
Yes.
So I want to wrap this up, but I want to give you an opportunity to maybe advertise a little bit, because I understand that you guys are in need of bus drivers.
Yes, we're definitely in need of bus drivers, van drivers, monitors, aides. You do not need a CDL license to drive a 7 or 9 passenger vehicle. Free CDL training, earn while you learn. You can check out our website at GotDriveGetPaid.com or WLRoenick.com. Great pay, holidays, weekends, summers off. Join a good family team, 75 years in business.
Nice. And if you're off for the summer, you might want to then come work for us at Cindy Cohen School of Driving, because we're always looking for instructors to help us in the summer, because that is our busiest season. So I want to thank Craig, Trooper Bondarenka, and Kel for being here and allowing us to do this segment of Riding with Robin.
Don't forget to like and subscribe. Let's give a special thanks to Trooper Bondarenka, our safety specialist, Craig, and our other safety specialist, Kale. Thanks for all your time. That's it on this episode of Riding with Robin. If you have any more questions, leave them down below, and make sure to tune in next week where we highlight our instructors. We'll see you then.